Hi, this is Mike, and today I want to talk about organization. So if you'll notice, I have my Blackboard site here, and it's not really well organized. So let's start thinking about what we want our side menu to look like. There are a few things that you can do on your side menu to help students find things very easily on your site. So I'm going to go up to the plus here, and you'll notice I have all of these different things. I can add a content area, I can add a module page, a blank page, a tool link, a web link, a course link. There's a subheader and there's a divider. So let's talk about those right now. I'm going to create a subheader. And that's just going to be some text that is going to be bold, and you can put that above some other things. So for example, I could say topics. And I'll submit that, and now you'll notice that I have that topics thing, and I can drag that where I'd like. So I'd like that to be kind of right above information. I mean right above syllabus. And now I can go ahead and add a subdivider. I'm going to divide, and then I get a little divider here. I'm going to drop that right above topics. And now let's talk about some of the topics. Let's say my course is broken up into 6 different topics. Let's say I'm teaching a course on the books of the Torah, because that's something I happen to know something about. So let's say the topics are going to be all the different stories. So I'm going to create the first one, and I'll go in here and I'll create a content area. And we can call this Adam and Eve. And I'll make that available to users. But you know what? I'm going to even make it a little easier. I'm going to go 1 Adam and Eve, so they know exactly which topic it is. And I'll click Submit. And I'm going to go ahead and drag that right underneath here. Now, you could divide this any way that you'd like. You could divide it into weeks. You could divide it into topics. You could divide it into segments. However, whatever makes sense for you. But the idea is students will know immediately what they've got going here. So I can create another one. I'll create another content area. I can call this Noah, and I'll make that available to users. I'll click Submit. And now if you notice, I forgot to put a 2 in here, so I'm going to do that right now. And I'll click to see my options. I will rename the link, and I'll just go ahead and change that to Noah. And you should always be thinking about this from the perspective of somebody who did not build the site. So a student who might be coming to the course for the first time, you might want to make it really obvious to him or her the way that things are laid out. So we've got this information area. That might be a good thing to keep up at the top. We might want to say welcome. So we'll go ahead and create another subheader, and I'll call this welcome. And I'll click on Submit, and I'll just drag this right up to the very top. So there's my welcome, and instead of information, it might be nice. What is this even? I'm going to click on that. So this is actually just a content area, and you can see I can build all this content, but I don't like information here. It doesn't really tell me very much. So I want to change this. I'm going to rename the link, and I'm going to call it, and you can either rename a link or you can delete it and create a new one for yourself. That might be the easiest thing to do, just to start fresh. But since I know this is a content area, I'm going to go ahead and just change this to Start Here. And I'll go ahead and click on Check. So now all of a sudden, it's starting to look a lot more user-friendly. Let's say I wanted to divide the topics from the other stuff down below. I can add another divider. So I'll go ahead and I'll create a divider. And I'll drag that below my topics. And let's say I wanted to have a heading for all the other things that I have here. So I might want to call that resources. And I'll go in and I'll create another subheader. I'll call it resources. And I'll click on Submit. And as I said, it always helps. And I'll drag this exactly where I'd like to. And it always helps if you take a look at it from the student's perspective. And if you notice, these are all in capital letters, and I accidentally created resources in lowercase letters. So let me go ahead and fix that again. I'm going to rename that, and I'm going to make it all caps. So aesthetics are really important here. You'll notice how that automatically looks so much better. So now this is just a start. You might want to take a look at your own course and decide what organization would you like the students to see there on the left-hand menu. And so why don't you take a look at that and meet me back over here, and we'll talk about the next thing, organizing the content areas.